Home. A unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. I played about half a minute of this and realized that it's something that I'd like to stream. So we're gonna go and start a new game. Start over. Any previous progress will be erased. Yeah, I want to start over. So I didn't really get anywhere in my other one, but you know, I want to start fresh and all that shit. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started then. All I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Okay, so this is obviously a very simple pixel art game. Walk with the stick, and I can look up. I didn't know that before. I can't crouch down though. I'm gonna go ahead and open this door. That house. Where was I? There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Oh, kitty. Come back, kitty. Huh. Not sure if I want to go downstairs. Some kind of leak. Let's head downstairs, I guess. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. Huh. Bookshelf. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. It seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. So this isn't my house, then. More stairs leading down. A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Of course. Mice are cute. Let's head downstairs again, I suppose. Oh, I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. Well, that's not good. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Well, damn. We're on the first floor now. Oh! Fuck was that noise? The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. What smell? What was that noise? Damn door was locked, but it didn't look like there was a keyhole. Maybe I could find another way to open it. Maybe I could. I have been sleepwalking again? Was that how I got to that house? The bathroom was incredibly clean. Every surface had been thoroughly wiped, and nothing seemed out of place. What's this? There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Like, the lack of any kind of soundtrack is really disturbing. Let's go this way. A collection of rusty tools. These look like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp-smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? Good question. Why are they on the second floor? Hey, wait a minute. I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it had been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? Sure. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Maybe that's the downstairs door. Huh. Switching the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. Yes, it did. Why is the tape over that other door gone? I don't like this, man. The trap door. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Sure. I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. There was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose in the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? No. Wasn't quite ready to leave yet. Let's explore a little bit more. What about that room that has a tape over it? What's in here? There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Key card. Ocker. Last one, I promise. Didn't make much sense at the time. Oh hey, Squeaky Mouse. Little Mr. Squeakers. Trophy earned, cause and effect. Oh, because I let the mouse out of its trap. It did something in the kitchen. Like it showed up in the kitchen, I guess. Don't know what that really means yet. Scribbles of all kinds of random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. I'm gonna act like that noise didn't happen. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. Ewy. A black and white photo. Looked like the man upstairs and his wife, I guessed. There were no reasons for me to keep this. Did I take it? Sure. I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Maybe it would. How long had this been here, rotting? The man upstairs didn't look like he'd been dead a long time. I wonder if the guy's still up here. The man's face looked like the man in the photo I had found. Well, that's less than good. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? Yes. Receipts, pens, and a blurry photo looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? Oh! Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. Like the blood highlighted for like a brief second when I turned away from it and I thought it moved. That really freaked me out. Like this game has so much little going on visually that like it's, I don't know, there's this horrible sense of dread. Scribbles falling, random shots of paper. Old train yard. About a water tower. A key card, a locker. Last one. They promise. Alright, we're going down this ladder, I guess. There's nothing else up there. I don't think I missed anything, so we'll go down the ladder. I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints in the dirt. Looked like more than one kind and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town, the industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. Should I go back? A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handguns. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Yes. Yes, I did. I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. Trying out my trigger buttons. Square, triangle, circle. Oh, okay, I can use the D-pad to move. There's another ladder here that goes further down. Let's go and check out upstairs again in a moment. I will be right back. 1 second, everybody. Oh, that's what the pause screen does? If I give up now, I'm not going to quit. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry everybody. we'll continue now. Oh. This box would have allowed me to climb up the ladder again, but I didn't want to go back up there. Not with that body, all that blood. Well, I guess I can't go back. So I must have missed something. Interesting. Alright, we'll go back down. Or continue down. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Huh. It's weird. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old, faded paper covered with what looked like names. Excuse me. Sorry. They were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. What is that, like a Heather? Heather? Maybe the third one's a Harvey? Second one might be an Olivia. Don't know what the fourth one could be. Fifth one could probably be Aaron. Not sure about the sixth. Or the seventh. The eighth could be, I don't know. No idea. None of it made any sense to me. I don't think the actual names would have been that important. Now I'm in a bunch of caves and there's doors and shit down here. And a ladder. Crudely made shells. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. Okay. Looked like a cage? It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. Looks more like blood. And hooks. Rusted hooks, like the kind you find in a butcher, hung from the ceiling. They look pitted and worn from heavy use. That man upstairs, did he do this? I don't know, what's this? Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. What is it? What is it, Mason? No, I need that hand. Sorry, my cat is like grabbing my hand. Somebody didn't exactly use that. Didn't actually use that, did they? I guess we'll go left. Can I have my hand back, cat? Give my hand back. Thank you. There looked to be bones half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? It's like a prison, like she was kept, like, chained up here. In this little, like, cavern. Fucking weird. Who's a good kitty? You're a good kitty. Down we go. What do you think, Mason? Is this kind of spooky? I don't like that. This right here. Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing here? Doing there? Please just be like bats. Yep, it's just bats. It's fine. Huh, Mason? It's fine. Remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. Remember if I jumped down there or if I found another way. It looked to be a long way. Did I jump down? No. Maybe there's some other way to get down there without risking any more injury to my leg. Oh, I can just move over it. Alright, cool. There's a skeleton to my left, and there was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yes. Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. Did you hear that fucking whispering just now? I have the rope now. There must have been a use for it around somewhere. What if I go back upstairs and I get that, like, one of those hooks? Huh, kitty? Are you freaked out like I am, Mason? Mason's just like sitting in my lap. He doesn't care. He's like, whatever. Why don't you keep petting me? I was getting more nausea the longer I stayed there. I felt sick and weak, like I hadn't eaten for days. Oh, I guess I can't use the hook, so we'll just continue down. The whispering sure was spooky. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yes. I could hear a faint hum. The smell from before started to get worse. Not digging it. The ladder was too high to reach. I must have tried to find a way out from where I was. It's like he's telling this after it happened. A bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out. Danger due to cave-in. Oh. Getting some music here, Mason. What do you think it is? You think it's time to lay down and start purring? I think he's happy about my fear. Because I'm freaking out. I could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least, I thought, I had found that old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. Where the fuck am I? There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. There's an arrow pointing that way, but I can also move up. Let's go right. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Oh, I hear it too. Exit. Exit's a fucking trap. A kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Yeah. Set the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? Maybe. Ah! Door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. This door's not locked. There's a noise to my right. 1. Some kind of valve? I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? No, I left the valve alone. 1, 2. I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? No. Valve alone. Huh. 3, 4. 3, 4. Should I turn them all in order? Can't do anything with that. Let's try and turn them all in order. What do you think, Mason? Yeah? You think so? Valves were forward. Did I turn it anyway? Yes. Can I turn it again? Whatever these valves did, this one wasn't pumping water anymore. Huh. Oh, I should take a look at that regulator thing, huh, Mason? Through the dust I could see handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in these sewers. Okay. Oh, Mason. I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Yes. That's 2. I was still active. Did I turn it again? Yes. Alright. That one's not making noise anymore. So I have to turn each one the number of times. I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? Yes. I was still active. Did I turn it again? Yes. Let me guess. It's going to stop on this 3rd turn. There we go. Those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? 1. Whoa. What these valves did, this one wasn't pumping water anymore. Huh. What do you think, Mason? It's kind of odd, isn't it? Through the dust I could see handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in these sewers. Alright, well, I shut off all the water pumps. Door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. Oh, so much for that idea. Exit. Is it locked? No, no, it's not. Cool. Turning those valves must have drained the water that was in this room. There was a ladder I could reach. Oh, cool, I can leave. Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in a shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yeah, sure. Pocketed the small key, but it was so odd-shaped, I had no idea what it might open. I could go in that way. Maybe it's for the door upstairs? Let's try it. I'm like getting more and more nervous as time goes on. Door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. Alright, well, the key's not for that door. Oh, kitty. The safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? No idea. Me. Door was locked. I could see a faint light within. There's a lot of blood in here. Another body. Found another dead body, a sewer worker. By the wounds over his face and body, I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a keyring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yes. I thought about the knife I had found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. What the hell? There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened. Find an unlocked door, I guess? Let's try. Use the keyring to unlock the door. The shelf full of security tapes was strictly organized, though covered in dust. Must have been old if they were still using VHS. Odd, one of the tapes was missing. That is odd. The security desk was dusty, and there was a dirty coffee cup there. The VCR looked like it still worked. Huh, so I have to like go find a VHS. Tape. Play the tape that way. Huh, kitty? Yeah? Yeah. I could smell a hint of fresh air here. I was anxious to leave, but I couldn't help wonder what that key unlocked. Yeah, same here. Alright, these open vents are freaking me out. Not gonna lie. I want to leave. I want to get out of here. The awkward weight of the gun and knife made the climb even more arduous. Would I need that gun or that knife on my way home, or was I a fool for picking them up? I wondered what was in that locked room I passed. Should I have gone back to check? Perhaps it didn't matter. I was so eager to escape I almost bruised my hand forcing the latch at the top of the ladder open. What? What, Mason? Am I making too much noise? Am I being too loud? Are you trying to take a nap? I'm sorry. As I lifted the heavy lid above me, frantically, the smell of that sewer gave way to the dank scent of pine trees. Yeah. Yeah, Mason? You miss pine trees? I miss them. What was that light in the distance? It's like, is that a pair of eyes or what? The lid had fallen on the entrance there and was stuck shut. Oh, I ain't going back that way. I thought it was just gonna be in like a fucking mansion the whole time, or like a big old house. That's not a fun like noise. I don't like that at all. An old ladder leading up to an ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Not yet. Wasn't sure if I should be poking around up there. Can I go this way? I can. Let's check out that water tower though, because I read something about it earlier in the house. What is it, kitty? Why are you nosing my hand? Pop the latch and brought the ladder down. I'm gonna climb a ladder, Mason. More bats. There's more bats up here. Yeah. Some kind of claw mark? In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? Yeah. I slid the filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any kind of gun permit. In fact, it didn't contain any cards or ID of any kind. I thought I should recover my credit card and driver's license at least. From the railing, I could see over the woods and down to the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through here before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. More eyes in the darkness. Hello. I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. Ah! The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. Spooky. Wait, is this the house? The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure. Is it not the house? It's an old train station. I can go right or left. Snake says left, so we'll go left. Jeez, this game is really effective at setting a tone. The ancient ticket booth was falling apart and covered in dust and grime. Stacks of paper lined the counter, faded remains of old schedules and reports. Among the papers were newer-looking sheets, covered in scribbles and illegible notes. Come to think of it, the man in that house had kept similar scribbles hidden on his bookshelf, and he had notes on the water tower outside too. I guess he could have been coming here, but why? What was he using this old station for? What do you think, Mason? What's that? You don't care because you're a cat and all you want to do is nap? I see. Good talk, Mason. A map. An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course! The map I found in those tunnels and had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower, and even the train yard. What was he doing coming back here? What indeed? Wait, hold on. Was there anything else, like off to the right? No, okay. Mason, what? Why are you moving around like that? What is this? The old train was ripped open, and hanging from a shred of metal as well as the broken fence was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train's shell I could hear a few faint impacts, like wounds. Or could see a few faint impacts like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. What, Mason? Stop! I realized I was touching the gun I had found as I thought. Oh, I guess I can't go the other way. I just saw a mouse. Wait, can I keep continuing left? I think it's like one of those games that you play through more than once and like learn everything about. What is a kitty? You not get comfortable sitting where you are? I can move. No, you don't want me to move? He's purring, so I guess he's okay. Oh, it's a light. Oh, hold on, everybody. Telemarketers, man. They're the worst. Huh, Mason? They interrupt my streams. I'm playing the game. Got a good mood going and everything. These motherfuckers just call me about a credit card I don't even have. What's up with that, Mason? What's up with these eyes in the darkness, too? Yellow. I don't trust it. You comfy, kitty? You happy? Hope you're happy. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in these tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river, maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. More eyes. And a trail, maybe? Yeah, a trail through the bushes. Hello. Trampled in the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see my credit card. Wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Sure. Pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I can find my driver's license too. Perhaps I can use that credit card to like unlock a door or something. Through the fence I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wonder if I could find my way around. What, Mason? Why are you looking at me like that? Huh? What? What do you want? What do you want, baby? You're a good kitty. Oh! Something moved through the bushes. There was some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Yes. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after warm page of names and lists. None of it had made much sense. The newest page contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, Rachel. I think... yeah, those have to be... That has to be like the list of names I found earlier. Rachel. Her name was last on the list and had a mark beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks looked older and more faded. That's weird. This game's weird, Mason. This game's very weird. But I'm digging it. More footsteps I hear in the distance. Is that like 10? It is. What's this? A few embers still burn within the fire pit. Who was camping here? Was it... One of the 2 folding camp chairs was knocked over, and there was beer spilled everywhere. Where did the campers run off to in such a hurry? There was a cheap 2-person dome tent, though the screen on the front... Through the screen on the front, I could see 2 sleeping bags, backpacks, and a small cooler. Wow, that's weird. Let's go through here. The fuck? Oh, hey, it's that old outhouse. No, 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 no. Don't... Something? No, no. I don't like this. Grammy's sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. A musty wooden plank propped up in the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? Yeah, sure. Wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. Maybe we can take it back to the fire and light a fire or something? Who knows, kitty? Through here, I think. Yeah? Yeah. The sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. Hey, I made it! I finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Oh, fuck this place. Shit's spooky. Through the dense trees, I could finally start to see some light. I must have been at the edge of the forest, though I wasn't sure where the path ahead of me led. I could almost feel the cryptic notebook in my pocket as I tried to think about what it could mean. Where were the campers who had abandoned their site? Would I meet them too? Though the path ahead of me was less dense, I still felt guarded and wary. Who knew what was ahead? A lot of nothing happening in this game. It's like really starting to wear on me, you know. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a mechanic, as a machinist for all those years. The plant had God, I'm like unable to read. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. I see like a city in the distance. Oh. There's a door here. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. What? There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, shaking or snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear and cobwebs had collected in the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. Let's check out that hole in the fence real quick before we really dig into this. Like the factory I used to work in, I guess. What do you think, Mason? You think it's worth exploring? Oh, shit. I found the body of a security guard just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered what his flashlight is. Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet, and now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Yes. The watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyway. Found my watch and a body. Great. Door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front door that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." Up we go. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Oop, Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. Low. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Clicky clicky. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Oh! Cool. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. Power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. That one's on. Remember correctly, there were 5 downstairs? It was shut tight. There was a rusty-looking card slot on the other side. Oh, on the side, not the other side. Huh, Mason? That's a big kitty. 16 pounds a cat. I need my controller back, Mason. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to move you. The door had been hastily boarded up. I wonder why. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. Another panel that I hoped would help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yes. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. What, Mason? What? Why are you moving around? Tail's twitching like you're pissed at me. I think we can use this claw hammer that I have to open up that door that was boarded up. What do you think, Mason? You think, yeah? Blink nice and slow once for yes, and like quickly twice for no. Yeah? He says yes. I struck with the hammer. The old boards came apart easily. After I removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. This was my locker, there in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. There was a mess of empty booze bottles. I wonder if that man in the house had something to do with this. He shared a lot of alcohol in his place. It's getting like, I'm becoming like more and more convinced that I did something horrible and I blacked it all out somehow. Oh, the locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. I slipped the key card into my pocket. Another panel that I hoped could get me to help me get back on. But the switch on? Yes. Last switch. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Yes. Power on. Power on. Huh? Hey, got it back on. There's like machine noises and stuff. It's not nearly as like crazy quiet as it was earlier. Which means it's not as creepy. Oh, Mason. Now I gotta go back downstairs. Now the power's back on. That key card. What's that noise? Key card should work. On the door over here? Door opened. Now the power's back on. A rusted old regulator of some kind sat dusty and unused against the wall. Planks, tools, and broken up parts blocked any further passage. Another smudge of dirt, similar to the one I found in the sewers, was on the floor. I don't like that noise. Large pile of building materials and debris blocked the way. The fuck was that fucking noise, man? Within the dust there were deep scratches like from some kind of tool or blade. Swear to God, man, going to that room got me absolutely nothing. The power box looked like it was running again. That it? And all I have to say, I guess those switches must have done the trick. With the power box working again, the door was unlocked. Did I go through? Yes, I pushed the handle and stepped through the door. A rack of flashlights hung on the wall. One of them was missing. Is that the one I'm using? The stale scent of the old factory gave way to the brisk odor of pine trees and dirt. I was back outside. I wasn't sure if that was better or worse. The path beyond was dark and my flashlight barely illuminated anything. I wonder if it had really been taken from the factory. If so, how did I get it? The poor guard. He was probably just doing his job. Maybe he knew what was going on in that boarded up room. If he did, he wouldn't be telling that tale to anybody. I hope the path led back into town. I needed to find some help. A car? A rusty old truck had careened off the road and into the guardrail. Its front was crushed and its windows had all smashed. Judging by the rust, it had been there a while. Didn't recognize the vehicle. I hoped whoever had been in it had survived. Maybe me? Woke up with my leg all busted and shit. Maybe it was me. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food in slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yes. I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card, and now this. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Oh, Mason, you okay? Sounded like it was going to start raining again. You okay, Mason? You hear that thunder in the distance? I did. I sure did. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for the faint sound of a television. Ow. Mason is adjusting himself again. Norman? Are you here, Norman? Oh, no. Oh, fuck, more blood. And the faint sound of a television. Like a coat. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on the rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. The handgun was Norman's. What the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Yes. I carefully pushed the piece back into place and felt a great burden lifted. Norman, what were you doing with all these? A close call? Got a trophy called a close call. Wonder why I got a trophy called a close call. Aw, Mason, are you leaving? Okay, bye, Mason. Be a good kitty in the wild great yonder. Hello, what's this? What was this? Looks like a pole chain hanging from the ceiling. I wondered where it led. Did I pull the chain? Not yet. So I was too afraid to see what was... The game is calling me a baby. What's up with his teeth? Whoa! Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he had been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already dying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserve better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yes. I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. Hope to hell Rachel had nothing to do with that mess. My wife, or me, is a murderer. The TV still flickered, some indecipherable channel. I couldn't make out what was on the screen, but that glow just gave me the chills. Let's pull it down. What was this? It looked like a pole chain hanging from the ceiling. I wondered where it led. Did I pull the chain? I gave the chain a simple tug, and a simple folding ladder to the attic popped down. Let's not go up just yet. Look around a little bit more first. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes. Found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. That could come in handy. Like the Pixel Adventures of Conan O'Brien, the maybe murderer. Chains, clothes, notes on the walls, boxes. There's a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? Yes. Opened up the old cardboard box and wasn't entirely surprised by what I saw. There were more of Rachel's things, more of my wife's clothes. Photos, shoes, even that old radio I gave her. Why, Rachel? What were you doing here with Norman? Just couldn't believe it. My head ached with everything that was running through it. What's going on? So many questions and like no answers. Hey Norman, you're still dead, right? Alright, cool. Just making sure. Too many horror games these days to like just not be like making sure about that shit, you know what I mean? Used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. See? The general store was small, but it was clean. I had the usual things, postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. Were you thinking of going somewhere with Rachel, Norman? That sounded bitter. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. Must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. Of all the postcards, that one seemed to be the most popular. There were only a few left. It had been weeks since I'd last seen Norman, and finding him that way still left me cold. Thinking of him slumped against that chair only cemented my reassurance in getting rid of that gun. It looked like someone had taken that piece from his store, but why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled that dusty box of clothes in Norman's attic. I felt like I'd only discovered more questions, no answers, but I was close to home. If it was time to find out the truth. 1, 2, 3, Jesus Christ, 4, oh my god. Alright, well, we'll just start them at the very beginning. It was locked. This was... Oh shit, my cat's trying to get out of my room. Alright, Mason, I'll let you out. Oh, you're such a good boy. You're so patient with me. Have fun. Have fun being a cat. Huh, that's weird. I just noticed the light on my controller is red. Earlier it was white when I started the game, and like halfway through it was kind of pinkish, maybe? Maybe it's slowly been turning red. That's weird. Wasn't the right gate, because it was locked. Gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. Not my house. Hey, it's my house. Maybe. Rachel? I like that name. The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out, as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yes. The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I'm saying this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman. So don't you think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserves at least that much. Goodbye. What the fuck? I didn't know what to think. My mind was racing and my heart pounding. I had to get home. I just had to. Gate was locked tight. Not my house. Got the wrong gate. This one was locked. There's blood on the wall. I enter a backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. Never did fix this gate. It was stuck. I needed to press on. There was no turning back at that point. Yeah, there was blood on the wall. I should have kept going. I held my breath as I approached my back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday? Or sometime before? The door to the basement. It was locked. Where did I put the damned key? There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? Yes. I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? The front door was locked from inside. I couldn't go out, though. I needed to see if Rachel was here. Rachel? Go left first. I had found the last missing piece from my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. Did it make me feel terribly comfortable? Did I keep it anyway? Of course. I placed the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Our television. I had purchased it. Oh, stolen identity, huh? I purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward. By then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. So I lost my job. Or I lost my job due to drinking. Door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. I couldn't really make myself out anymore. Wasn't sure I wanted to. There's more blood on the floor. My laptop had been left on, and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes, I pocketed the key. So, I lost my job at the factory due to my drinking habits. And apparently I'm not a good husband. So my wife was cheating on me with Norman. Door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned key holder underneath the handle. I thought I had the key. Oh well. And I think I found out, and I went nuts. The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I looked more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. My wife's, Rachel's, suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Yes. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. Is this what you were going to do with Norman? Rachel, why? You really going to run away with Norman? Was it really such a monster? Last door. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house home. You said it, guys. Said the name of the game. We win. We're done now. The laptop was warm and had been running for a while. I'm not sure what to do now. Does the key... I can't find Rachel anywhere. Door was stuck shut. Old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Did I miss something? I unlocked the basement door. Oh, jeez. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key there. Did I take the key? I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. The door on the second floor, probably. There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. Might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough, like a hammer? The grabby key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yes. Lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. I'm really worried about what I'm going to find behind this wall. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? Don't look, it says on the wall. The eye symbols. Blood. Don't look. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile, to see what lay within. But I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I'd seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Yes. Oh no. My hands trembled as I pulled back of the layers of cloth. There at the center, under all the dirt and mess, was my beloved, my Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over and slashed repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn, and even through all that sickening blood, it was obvious she had been stabbed to death. The knife I'd carried all this way suddenly seemed like a poison. What had happened, Rachel? Who did this to you? Thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. When I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books to find some place to go. No matter what, I needed some kind of escape. Did I kill my wife? This was the old photo of the other man and his wife, I assumed. I found it in that house. I recalled those faded remains I had found deep underneath his house. What had he done there? Well, what did I think? Was that man involved in this whole mess somehow? He had to have been. Else why would I go there? Definitely. Those tunnels, the odd tools in his house, and the remains of his wife, he wasn't innocent. That's for sure. But who had killed him? Me? It was the key card I found at the bottom of that factory locker. Never did bother to use it. Someone had been going through those lockers and poking around the plant. Still, it didn't quite add up. Was I the one who had been going back to the factory? I'm not sure. Somebody was using that locker room, but it definitely wasn't me. I had given up drinking, remember? Oh, I had? The laptop had finally run out of power. I feel like I missed some things. The reflection of that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. The quiet in that room unnerved me terribly. Yeah, still love the old-time charm of that claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like cold comfort then. Rachel loved this part of the house. It was a letter I had taken from the post box. Rachel, were you really having an affair with Norman? But why? I didn't think things were that bad. In the letter, Rachel seemed concerned. She almost seemed worried of what Norman might do. Did he do that to Rachel? But he's dead. I don't think he did. Norman may have betrayed me, but I didn't think he was capable of that. I hated him. I hated him so much, but I couldn't blame him for what happened to my wife. Now on, I'd have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Just thinking about things like that made me sick with grief. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. It used digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I had left it somewhere. I leafed through the notebook I had taken from the forest. In it were the names that had been written down. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, and Rachel. I recalled the names I saw scratched out on that old desk deep within those musty tunnels. Was the man in that house really up to something? Was he the one responsible for Rachel's murder? But I found him dead. I could find the code for the safe. Maybe I could still open it. The mail still sat there, heaped on the floor. How long had Rachel been lying in the basement? Couldn't leave, not until I had thought about this some more. I needed answers. There would be no more dinners here. No more chit-chat over breakfast. At least, not for us. Must have locked the door, and there was no reason to return to the backyard anyway. Down to the basement we go. Couldn't go back down. Not until I'd gone over everything. I need to make sure I was perfectly clear. What did I miss? It seemed like that mail had been there for a while. I need some water. Alright. No, looked at all that. Touchpad, any of my other buttons do anything? No. Back further upstairs, I guess. Within the few broken pieces that remained of that mirror, I could see my face had grown pale and weak. I couldn't bear to look again. It was like I didn't actually expect a reflection. I felt empty and drained. I have gone in here. Look at that. I thought I was dead, but I found some notes and loose paper in the drawer where I had found the key. There was a yellow sticky note with an 8-digit code on it. 4R... Wait, no. Are you here? Like 4R3UHER3. Like, are you here? I think that's what that like spells in like leet speak. Yes, the code looked like it might be for the safe, but what kind of phrase was that? Are you here? There wasn't anything more to find at the desk. The code I found should have let me access the safe. Did I try to open it? Yes. The code worked. I pulled open the small safe door and peered inside. There was a photo in there of Rachel and I when we had first moved to town. In it, we were smiling outside the front of the house, which looked like a real mess. We looked happy, though. Odd. I couldn't remember who took that photo. Inside the safe was also an envelope. The front of it read, "Do not open until I tell you." I guess this was a good time as any to see what was inside. Did I open the envelope and read what was inside? Yes. I tore open the envelope and removed the yellow lined paper inside. On it was a letter in a hand that looked familiar. The letter read, "I know this whole event has probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me too. Well, maybe you can. This isn't meant to be an excuse, but, well, I hope you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving into this town seems like such a dream. A quiet place to get established, to live out our lives, to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly changed. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it was clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all. But it took all this to make you realize. In the end, though, you may never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself, but this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. I'm just sorry it had to happen this way. Rachel." Secret documents. Couldn't leave not until I thought about this some more. I needed answers. Well, what else is there to do? I guess go upstairs and look at my bedroom? It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? I think so. Didn't see how it could have happened any other way. Must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. What does that mean? Kind of escape. There, that was decided. Huh. It seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back to the basement. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to at least take a last look. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back to that room again. I had already seen too much. I need to put an end to the situation one way or another. If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? No. Yeah, there are other, like, I'm not, no. That's not an answer. That's never an answer. For me here anymore, no reason to stay in that house. Did I leave, never to return? Yes. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plan had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in that house had something to do with all this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to seem that there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. What was hidden within those sewers I had found? The tunnel to the man's house obviously led there, but was there something I missed? I had found the contents of my wallet scattered throughout town. Why the hell had I been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? The thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but knew I had been to that forest, and even Norman's place, well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought, that would cover my tracks so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. Deep within those woods, though, there was where things became truly awful. Finding that notebook only made things worse. Rachel's name had been on that list, so what terrible plot was she a part of? There was a similar list of names on that desk back in those tunnels. What was the connection? My whereabouts were still confusing, but I was at least sure that it wasn't me who had gone back to the factory time and time again. I hoped that meant I wasn't responsible for what happened to that poor guard, or the old locker room for that matter. After all, it'd been a long time since I'd had anything to drink, hadn't it? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, what were you and Rachel up to? It was obvious things were more complicated than I'd ever imagined. How long had you been going behind my back? More importantly, why, Norman? Whoever had killed Rachel had probably gone after you too. Maybe they knew about what you were up to. I would never know peace, Norman, but despite your transgressions, a part of me really did hope that you would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end, and I guess in a way it did. But how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into our house and stood there in the kitchen. There was no sign of television, radio, even the air was still. But seeing Rachel there, lying ruined and discarded in the basement, that was a horror I could never have imagined. I don't know if I'd ever find the answers I craved, but I knew that somehow that other man I had found was responsible for this. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in that damned house of his? Had I found out? Had I killed him? My damned condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess, and I could never be sure. Knowing that man was dead, though, was cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me now, I was lost forever. As I swung open the door and stepped out into the air, I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. That was a really interesting game. I feel like I should go back and play it again. I don't have time to do it today. But definitely something I should play through again tomorrow or next time I have time. Oh, I'm saying to my wife Nancy, watch your back. Haha. The end. That was really good. That was very different. I definitely missed a couple things. That's creepy face. But yeah, that was Home. I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly did. Definitely one of those slow burns. I'll probably come back to this. And sorry I haven't been active over the past week. I've been really busy with personal things and school. But Resident Evil will continue shortly. Don't worry about that. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.